can do is give a comment. Remember, you guys, that we love for you to ask questions, and just remember there are three very important rules: kindness, dignity, and respect. And anybody that doesn't show that towards myself, towards whomsoever I am interviewing, or anyone else, will be blocked. And that is an unbreakable rule that I have. So, as always, for the first minute or two, I'd love for you to just please say where you are in the world and how things are going for you and where you're watching from. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to quickly show you my guest number one. You might remember this nice lady. There's Tyalana from. Oh, wait, here we go. Tyalana from
South Africa.
and
What 54?
and the ANC.
And the ANC.
The ANC. Okay, and this nice lady is part one of our interviewees. Part two has not yet arrived. As always, we do go live whenever we say. So I think the nice thing that we should do is, you don't have to hold the flag, don't worry. The nice thing we should do is, first of all, Ms. Tyalana, since the last time we spoke, you just need to look here, so then you're looking straight in camera, yeah? So what we need to do is just explain to the people, of course, you are the nice lady who is currently running for Ward 54, which is the ward where I live, for the ANC, and you are campaigning and have been campaigning, I'm sure, exhaustively.
Yes.
Exhaustively?
Yes.
Yes, exhaustively. Campaigning exhaustively. And obviously things are hotting up because there's only a couple of days left before 01 November. So do you want to just quickly tell us what's going on with all of that while I share everything from your phone? And you know my story. Wait, open it. I don't know how to open it. And put it onto Facebook, meat pants. And then I'll do the sherry while you do the sherry. All right, so ladies and gentlepersons, Ms. Tyalana, the people, off you go.
Yes. So what do you want to know?
What has changed since the last time we spoke? Which was a very short period ago. It wasn't too long, it's a couple of days.
Yeah.
But in a couple of days in politics is like 600 years.
Yeah. Well, not much has really changed, but it's been quite interesting, just listening to, other candidate elects from various parties. But, it seems as if there really is a serious issue that needs an unresolved issue in Ward 54 in particular. The burning issue of homelessness seems to be the hottest topic on ground. And looking at the contestants that we're having here, this ward, there are 32 people vying for it. It means that, there's a lot that needs to be rectified. And I think it really is, it's going to be a very serious challenge for the DA by the looks of things.
Sorry, so you think that there will be an upset in the makeup of the, is it 14,000 people voting? I interviewed Nicola yesterday.
Yeah.
So there's 14,000, I believe, maybe 15,000 registered voters?
Yeah, but 19 from the last...
19. Let's call it 20.
Yeah.
Call it 20.
From the last test, registered voters were 19,000.
And how many people were voting for the ANC? Remember I asked you the last time, I think it was 0.5%, right? It was really, really low.
Yeah.
So you think that that's going to increase?
Well, I would really like it for it to increase.
Sure.
Yeah.
But what do you think it's going to be?
I don't want to sound too ambitious.
No. Just tell us what your feeling is. Obviously, we're not holding you to it.
To be quite honest with you, James, I really have no idea where things are. Last week, since the last time we spoke, there was an incident as well. My posters were removed from the polls after hanging them.
Wow.
That was from Bantry Bay up to Camps Bay. Everything was removed.
Do you know who is responsible for that?
No, unfortunately, I don't know who is responsible, and I don't even know what to make out of it.
So in other words, that wasn't officially removed?
No, it was not officially removed. It was only my posters that were removed. All the other parties' posters were up, except for mine.
Have you replaced them?
I have replaced them. Last Sunday, I replaced them.
Did you make a complaint?
I have filed a complaint.
With whom did you file? How does that work?
Well, it's in our legal department at this stage. I'm not really sure, but I mean, I had to go and open a case in the police station. And,
Right.
so, but legal is taking that issue up.
So
I'm
that's
not really sure
the
how
ANC is taking that up.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So what were your thoughts on what that may have been?
James, once again, I really sincerely don't know what to make of it. I don't know whether it's you know I don't know whether it's a loud message telling me to back off or it's a discrimination. But I mean, I feel that it's very unfair towards myself because I mean, posters are everything in an election campaign. You know, this is where people get to see you.
Right.
And they get to be reminded of your party or whatever presence that you come with. And having your poster removed, it means that somebody is eliminating you from a race, and it is very unfair, fair, and it's discriminatory. And personally, I'm not taking it kindly, but well, we'll just have to see how it all pans
How did
out.
it make you feel when that happened? Because you say you are the only
Well,
you're the only person, and the ANC is the only party that was not even defaced, just removed.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's discriminatory against myself being a female, a black female, or ANC, or all of the above. I really do not understand, especially with Seapoint having had all these incidents of anti-qua and racism, and so you don't really know what to make out of it.
So what are you going to do now? Do you have people watching the posters every day to see that they're safe?
No.
No, I mean they drive past every now and again and check.
No. No.
Okay.
We've got a campaign to run. We've got hearts to win. We cannot be bothered about what other people are bothered by about us. I'm really not bothered, to be very honest.
Okay, so hang on a second. I remind people that every political party was offered a space. Not many chose to respond. You did, because I met you actually literally outside at a cafe.
Yes.
The DA has, the Freedom Front has, the Al Jama'ah Party has, the people from... Good afternoon, sir. How are you? There you go, Mr. Ngculu. It's so nice to see you. Do take a seat, sir. May I get you some coffee or tea or something? And of course you. Would you like something?
I'm having some water.
Some water. You'd like some tea, sir?
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous. So, ladies and gentlepersons, on the left-hand side, we have Mr. Ngculu, struggle stalwart and veteran. And on the right-hand side, we have Ms. Thandi Tyalana. Oh, Nicola says, hi, James and Thandi Tyalana. You're not alone. Mine also came down, replaced 200 over the weekend.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just you.
Okay.
So there you go. How weird is that? And how good is Nicola to be watching?
Oh, wow.
Hang on a second. Can we just say
Hi,
some love for Nicola? Nicola, I don't know if you can see me. It's very bright. Lots of love for Nicola for watching. Thank you, love. Okay. Excuse me. So inappropriate. It's not Corona. I've just got a frog in my throat. Okay, hang on. So we were talking about election posters that were taken down, Mr. Ngculu. So we're just covering that for a second or two. So did it change your attitude towards the environment of this particular ward, or did you just did it make you even more determined? Because it had an effect.
I've really not put much thought into it, to be very honest with you. It was just a big question mark in my head. What does this mean?
Oh, right.
You know, your head could go crazy.
Yes.
To be quite honest, if you want to go to the extremes of it. I mean, we've seen that couple that was feeding the poor. They'd received some warnings prior to their car being bombed. So I don't want to blow it out of proportion. But I really don't understand what it means to remove my poster. That is eliminating me, and it's unfair to me. This is an election, a very crucial election at that.
Well, I'm hoping that yourselves and Nicola made the official complaints, and you made official, very clear about the fact that this is a contravention of almost certain IEC regulations as well, criminal charges as well. And although everybody may not agree with everything that every party says, to take down the posters, that's a slippery slide. It's a slippery slide to some very dark and totalitarian ways of managing people. So hold that thought, nice lady. Let's introduce the people to this nice man. Hello, Mr. Ngculu. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And may I just say what an absolute honor it is for you to be on my show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So, just to explain to the people who may not know, this is Mr. James Ngculu. Did I get it right? Thank you. Mr. James Ngculu, who is one of the founding members, if I'm not mistaken, from Sizwe. No? But you did join after the 1976 uprising. Okay. So, one of the first to be in the organization, yeah? And has, well, I'm not going to give your resume. Do you want to give your resume? Just so the people, assume that people who are watching have no idea your history and your connection to the African National Congress. So let's just show the people. There it is. This is Thandi's
Pledge.
and your poster flyer. So your promotion, yeah.
That's the pledge. Yeah.
All right. So just to be clear, everybody, before anybody goes, you're promoting the ANC. Everybody, and you know this is true because you've been watching me as well. And Mr. Kulu, you don't know yet, but everybody got the same options. Okay, everybody, I'm totally not political, right? So just to explain to the people your connection to the ruling party, again, to explain to those who may not know, there are 9 provinces for international viewers of this country. The ANC is the ruling party for the whole country, and 8 out of the 9 provinces, a separate kind of government, the provincial assemblies. And in this particular province, it is the only one the official opposition, the Democratic Alliance. So just to give you context, and then take it away. Let's just tell us everything about your life and go.
Oh, that's very difficult. I think, as you said in your intro, I joined the ANC and the Liberation Army post 1976, and I've held various positions since then, either as a commander, as a commissar,
the Military Intelligence Committee,
military intelligence, also been a provincial secretary of the ANC,
author,
provincial chairperson of the ANC, been a chairman of the Portfolio Committee on Health, been part of the first negotiations at CODESA.
Ah, 1994. I mean 1993. 1992, and that was held at the World Trade Center in Kempton Park, yeah? I remember that went on for 18 months, didn't it?
Yeah,
so very long.
I was advisor on the transitional arrangements, which is interim government.
Yeah.
I was an advisor.
Because people think it went from one to the other. It didn't. There was an interim period, and that was the Congress for the Democratic South Africa, CODESA, when every single political party that even had a vague opinion was allowed to come in. And these are the people who wrote the Constitution. It wasn't written by one person, it was written by everyone.
It was a massive number of parties from Bantustans,
traditional healers, kings, queens. It was, I remember it was, and that is the reason why South Africa's Constitution has been studied and lauded so much by so many countries and organizations as being one of the most liberal and fair and open constitutions in the world. Yeah.
So I've been part of that negotiations and the Portfolio Committee on Health in Parliament. Chairman was the chairman there. I wrote 2 books. One was nominating and shortlisted for the Ellen Platin Award.
Wow.
I'm busy writing a 3rd one now, written a number of papers.
Is that ourselves to serve that was nominated?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
The honor to serve.
Honor to serve.
Yes.
And then what is the new one going to be about? Can you tell us? No.
I don't even have a title.
You don't have a title? Okay, all right, fair enough. But what's the content?
More or less the same thing.
More or less, okay, part 3, basically, of the life story. Okay, so what is your current connection to the African National Congress? Are you a representative for a ward or a constituency? Or are you serving on an active committee? Or are you now in an advisory role? What is your link now?
I'm a member of the Integrity Commission.
And what does that mean? How does that's an internal commission?
It's a national commission of the ANC to ensure that every member of the ANC abides by the constitution, rules, and the integrity of the ANC. And if you fall short, you must step aside.
So just to be clear, this is a self-policing.
Self-policing process.
This is not an external. This is an internal dialogue. If you were the police, it would be internal affairs kind of thing, right? So that's how that works. And how many people are serving on that commission? 11 people. So you are 11 people who are in charge of how many members?
The entire 1 million members.
All of the ANC.
Yeah.
So how many people plus minus do we know? Do we have a figure on that?
1 million membership of the ANC plus cabinet, parliament, anyone who's a member of the ANC subject to the Integrity Commission.
So is this a thing that you have to sign? Is there a pledge that when you become connected?
Your pledge is the ANC constitution.
The political party has its own constitution.
So we have the constitution. That's your pledge. We have our conference resolution adopted from time to time. We have our strategy.
Sorry, just give us 1 second. We'd love to hear you, but we are in a live restaurant. And there's a reason why I always choose live restaurants, because there are real people coming in and having real interactions. So they're making a drink for somebody. So that's really good. And by the way, can we just say thank you to everybody who legally has allowed restaurants to now be open and to serve again, so we can all go out and have a cup of tea and a burger or whatever it might be. So thank you very much to those people. And thank you to everybody who lobbied for that. I was involved in that with the Restaurant Association.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was involved with lobbying. I've been working, I'm not employed by them, I must be absolutely clear, before somebody goes, but you don't work for the Restaurant Association. No, I don't. But I spent 5 weeks in hard lockdown, literally speaking to everybody, because at that point there was a belief that coronavirus in hot food will kill you. I don't know how we got to that point, but you know, I love how you're smiling, yeah? So, I mean, I was also going, I'm sorry, a chicken sandwich isn't going to kill him. But we managed to then get, this is an industry that has been through such hell, and I have worked very, very hard with broadcasting every protest in Parliament. I've started different hashtags. You know, the delivery driver challenge, where you order an extra meal for the delivery guy and you put a little picture of that up. That was me. I'm the hashtag support your local resto, support local CT. Travel Cape Safe, travel safe SA, travel safe. Eat local CT. So basically I've worked very hard for restaurants.
What's her name? The lady Arpets was very good.
Wendy.
Wendy Arpets, she was very, very good.
When she changed herself to the tree in Union Square.
Yeah, she was very good. Since she was an ambassador of the restaurant in the Italy side of the industry.
Were you involved in any of those conversations?
No. I just appreciated her. She was very consistent.
Okay, so for Wendy, who's watching, if you're watching, we love you, Wendy. Okay, so what I need to ask you is, you are now currently sitting on the Integrity Commission. So the question that I have to ask of you is, and of course this goes to you too, Thandi, is I was sitting at a restaurant just down the road when I met Thandi, and as I was talking to her, because I didn't get any return phone calls from the ANC, hang on a second, let me just change camera. Okay. So I never got any return phone calls, and she walked past with her friends and 2 babies, and and she was in the ANC outfits, and they were singing. And I grabbed you, didn't I? I grabbed you and I said, girl. And she said, ANC. And I went, don't go anywhere. And I was actually on the phone with the Cape Exit people. And I hung up on them to speak to you. I have and somebody came to abuse you guys. He walked past. This guy, very abusive, you see. And I was very impressed with the way friends dealt with it. He literally became instantly verbally abusive. And he was talking about corruption, and you people have stolen all the money, and you and your friends were very calm, and you started singing to him. Were they hymns that you started singing? You just started singing. So you dealt with that really, I would have not responded like that, but okay.
We get it all the time.
Yeah. So what I wanted to ask you, sir, and to you, madam, there is a perception in the public domain that the African National Congress has steered exceptionally far away from its establishing principles of all for one and one for all, for want of a better word, state allowance with the South African Communist Party, and of course the ANC and what's the third one again? SSCP, COSATU, who is not a political party but the trade union. So there is a feeling that the ruling elite, for want of a better word, of the ANC is responsible for an incredibly large amount of malaise, it's a good word perhaps, for the country. And I just wanted to ask you, as a person who was there, for want of a better word, from the beginning, and a person who is there now, do you see or feel that there is a great change in the way the party behaves?
Well, I think firstly, I think it's an injustice to say the ANC was is responsible for the Malays. The Malays have been historically there. However, it was hidden behind the so-called the Iron Curtain of the apartheid regime. Therefore, a number of people couldn't see what was happening, the Malays that was happening on the other side of the Iron Curtain. In other words, people were staying in the squalor, the squatters of the township for many years. As you know, that historically, people had houses and had used sex as houses. Therefore, you find places even named after such things. So many people today don't know that particular history, and therefore find it very easy to make certain disparaging remarks about what's happening in the ANC. And secondly, the strides were made since 1994. As you know, since the explosions that have taken place since 1910, if you recall, or even before, challenge of exclusion has been felt so heavily in the population in South Africa. And therefore, the African people in particular, the black people in general, have been so severely affected by the explosions that were taking place in South Africa. And therefore, for anyone today to attribute all the ills and challenges that were facing today only to the ANC is actually not so much honest about the history of South Africa, or rather papering of a very fundamental injustice that has been visited to the African people and black people for generations and decades before. We are currently doing certain things right. The deficit is very high, and it's going to take generations to resolve that deficit.
Okay, so to answer your question, to answer my question, you're saying that um, the inequality and the corruption was always there, and the only thing that really changed was the level of transparency increased after the ANC came to power. Am I correct?
And we're self-policing. I mean, there's no other organization in South Africa now that has an integrity commission that says if James struggles away from the certain prescripts of the ANC and or is involved in corruption or is arrested, you must step aside from any position or responsibilities you have. Currently, as we speak in South Africa, there's no other organization. And therefore, in that regard only, you actually see the honesty and the seriousness of the ANC in addressing the current challenges facing the ANC and the challenges facing society in general. And the fact that people such as Thandi and others have been appointed by communities rather than appointed solely within the ANC structures, that on its own demonstrates some willingness of the ANC to be mirrored by society and to be accountable to society, and where mistakes and or its people are not sellable to the population, that population has a right to say we don't want you as a candidate, and therefore we have a right to even to record you in that regard.
Tandy, same question. ANC with founding principles many years ago, ANC now. Uh, is there a change? And if so, is it a good one or a bad one? And then I did ask you this the last time about what you think for the future.
Yeah.
So let's go to the past first, the past up until the present.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I think I'll echo with James's sentiments on the ANC being able to police itself. We have seen the display of democracy at play. We have seen a live cleansing ceremony of the ANC, so it has allowed itself to be publicly, I guess, humiliated, for lack of a better word. And our president, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, is very relentless in approaching all sorts of ills and corruptions. One of the things that have actually happened for the first time in an election was a pledge that each and every councillor elect, whether it's PR or local government election, has a pledge to sign. It was called the roll call, and it was live on all the 9 provinces, and we all gathered, and we were addressed by the president for the first time. And he made a mention that as you are being sworn in now, taking this pledge, you will be held accountable. So he's taking it very, very seriously this time around, and everybody.
Sorry, if I can just interrupt you.
Yeah.
When you've both spoken about accountability,
Yeah.
Ngculu, your
I think
what can happen to them? Can they be arrested? Can they be?
the range is quite wide. For instance, if you are arrested, whether it's for corruption, for murder, for except a traffic offense, and you are found guilty on all those aspects, you have to step aside and face the consequences of your activities. So I think that's quite a drastic action that the ANC has taken. And secondly, there are certain problems people can create organizationally, wherein if they commit those problems, some of them are resolved internally. But if you, I mean, the former Minister of Health, Sweli Mkhize, was found to have attended to certain wrong things within, including certain levels of corruption. As a highly respected Minister of Health, has been forced to step down as a Minister of Health, to step down as a Member of Parliament. And currently, as we speak, he is out of all those positions. That's quite a drastic. And there's currently, as I'm saying to you, there's no other political party that is doing that. I mean, if you look into our list, each and every member in our list is looked into and vetted in terms of its own role. I mean, if you look at the DA list, I'm sorry, I normally don't want to talk about other parties. There's a member or members, I think about 2 or 3, who have criminal records and are put top in the list. We don't have that situation in the ANC. If you have a criminal record, you are charged in court, step aside. Face the music. If you are cleared, you come back in the loop. Whether, I mean, the Secretary General of the ANC has been forced to step aside precisely because he's charged in a court of law. I mean, there's no other organization we can speak of today that of such integrity activities that can take place to such magnitude as the ANC currently.
So, are you saying that you feel that the ANC has the largest amount of integrity of the political parties around at the moment?
No, I would just struggle to say largest amount of integrity because that's quite a heavy statement to make. But I'm saying where we err, we are prepared to look ourselves in the mirror, and where certain people err, we are prepared to take certain actions. And I think that's for me the best way to put it. Whether we have more integrity than others, that would be a heavy statement to make. I think each one of us, either ANC, DA, or Good, or any other party, all of us err, and to err, as you know, is human. But where you err in dramatic and drastic manners as the ANC, we're able to say we take actions against it.
Okay, so I have another question. I did ask you this when we had our interview. Your average voting person, and that's obviously in this particular instance, it's Ward 54, but you are now part of a national watchdog, for want of a better word, of the political party. So it's a fair question for every part of the country. A person who is watching, who can vote, why should they vote for the ANC? So you don't have a one statement answer, but give us 60 seconds why you think they should vote for the ANC. James, if you want to go first.
I think we are the only organization that has transformed life, qualitatively transformed the life of the people of South Africa. And we are the only organization that has provided housing, that has provided social security, that has provided qualitative schooling, uh, free schooling, and assistance to students at the university and college level. We are the only organization that has made the life of workers better. We are the only organization that has, in a way, sought to improve every aspect of the life of the South African population as a whole. We're the only organization historical over many years who stood firm to say South Africa belongs to all who live in it, black and white, and now that has been enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. There's no other organization that has done that. To say we're a non-racial, non-sexist organization in South Africa. There's no other organization that can stand toe to toe with the ANC and utter those words.
Okay, so that's what the party has done up until this point. So what are they going to do? Why should a person vote for you for things that you will do in the future? What are you guys going to do that other parties won't do or can't do in the future?
I think I would like to take that question and bring it back to 154. I think 154 in particular has what it takes to actually create the Rainbow Nation, those old values of the Nelson Mandelas of this world. The issue of homelessness has been a serious issue in the Western Cape that has been under the leadership of the DA for the past 15 years. We've seen a massive backlog of over 350,000 of houses, which has contributed greatly to the displacement of people and homelessness, which is a huge, huge problem in this particular area we live in. We've not really seen much response, interventions at least in that regard, in terms of actually even addressing the issues of affordable homes. We have land that is available, but nothing has actually transpired in that regard. Look at your truffle beds in the area that were earmarked for that, but instead were sold to private investors instead of actually contributing into having social homes, you know. So I think the ANC could be given an opportunity or should be given an opportunity um, to rectify certain errors made particularly in this area, or at least to redress particularly special apartheid even in terms of integration in the area, and also just being able to connect with your affluent resident and their needs.
Which is what you are in this area, which has the highest rental in the entire country.
Yeah.
7,000 rand on average for just 4 walls and a floor.
Yeah.
And that is it's a two-headed, many-headed monster actually, not just two heads. Where it's a property price and valuation issue with a lot of homeless people for the owners of the property, and for the people who are literally without. I don't even like the word homeless. I say displaced. Displaced people who have no other options except to stay on the street. So it's you don't fix homelessness with a home. And I explained to you, and Mr. Ngculu doesn't know yet, but I am a survivor of 22 years of sexual abuse from my late mother, and my late father was a violent alcoholic. And from that, from growing up in one of the richest families in this country, I myself had 12 and a half years of homelessness. I showered every day, my clothes were clean, very few people knew, but it can happen to anyone. It is not a thing that is a function of education. It's not a thing that's a function of race, age, color, height, weight, nationality, sexual orientation. Anybody can get it. So that is an important thing to remember. I would just want to quickly dash on to ask. One of the things I was asked to bring up is people who, um, shall we say, historically voted for your party, who are now very disenchanted and unhappy. And we spoke about the dissemination and the dissolution of the power of the votes with many different small parties. How much of a worry is that for today's ANC and for the 1st of November? That is, oh, sorry, is that me just kicking your foot? I'm so sorry.
No.
I had a foot cramp. I'm so sorry. I'm not attacking the interviewees. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But how?
See, for me,
Yeah, how worried is the ANC about many small parties dissolving and diluting the vote?
I think small parties, the number of independents that you find in currently, it's more self-perpetuation than anything. However, I think the benefits of the South African Constitution, South African democratic makeup, is to allowing every person to be voted in and to vote. It's a marvel. I mean, you go to big countries, Britain, America, France, and anywhere else. It's two parties only that run elections for many years, and then there's two or three regional parties if you go to Scotland or other places. But South Africa, and look, even in the continent or anywhere else, this is the only country that provides such massive freedoms and massive freedoms to be elected and to elect. And I think it's a celebration that we must all look into. And therefore, to find a number of independents, I think, say over 1,000 independents will take place in this election. It's a celebration of our constitution. It's a celebration of our freedom. And it's something we ourselves must take with a good heart. That people present themselves to the voters, and everyone in this beauty contest shall stand on the pledge, as in the case of Tyalana for 154, or your manifesto, as in the case of the African National Congress, and your track record in the resolution of the problems of the people of South Africa. And I think we, ANC members, stand tall and high in bragging about our achievements in this case.
Okay, and then I need to just ask you, I always do this. The one sentence answer. People should vote. Well, we'll start with you, Mr. Ngculu. People should vote for the ANC because one sentence. Go.
Because ANC cares.
Wow, that was the shortest answer anybody's ever done. Great, thank you, Thandi. Same question.
Because the ANC can realize the wildest dreams of a rainbow nation can be realized here at 154.
Okay. And then again, remember, I always ask this last question to everybody. And again, one sentence. And we'll start with you. Do you have hope?
Yes, I have hope that the ANC shall bring better communities to all the people of South Africa.
So that's a yes. Ms. Tyalana, do you have hope?
I do have hope, purely because this time around we're not only offering. Well, I myself as a candidate, I'm putting my head on the block. I'm not only just offering your normal service delivery of your water, lights, roads, rates. We're going through the extra mile this time around because we've suffered through this COVID. And as you can see, when you walk through the streets of Sea Point, there's been to let signs, the properties have depreciated. People have suffered in this neighborhood, particularly because it's a tourist hub. And I would like to put my head on the block and actually assist my residents into plugging into government programs that have been put in place. A one-stop shop sort of office that can offer the resident an extra, this is a highbrow area, so we'd like to go through the extra mile in terms of cutting the red tape for our residents through these government offices, like in your tourism, your hospitality space, in assisting them to plugging into government programs that are there to revitalize the economy in the hospitality and tourism sector.
Is that one sentence? Is that one sentence, Ms. Tyalana? You know I love you. That was a very, very, very long sentence.
Vital, long.
But I heard there were commas in it. So you actually fair enough. It is a sentence, yes. And then
English is not my first language.
wow, did you have to bring that up? Did you have to bring that up?
With English sometimes.
Wow, I love how you did that at the very end. Okay, so now even if people don't vote for the ANC, right? Is part of your message that people must get off their arse and go and vote at all?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not even a think about it. You want them to go and vote. It'd be nice if they voted for the ANC, but you want them to vote.
Yes, definitely. It is only fair to go out and vote and have your say. You are not being fair on yourself if you sit on the fence and pass judgment. You have to be part of a
Complaining
process.
on Facebook doesn't help.
Yes, you have to be part of a process to change the process. But if you want change and you want to create a new dynamic, particularly in this area, and you want to make history, I say vote for the ANC. In fact, I say give the ANC a chance to build this better community together.
Mr. Ngculu, is there anything you would like to add that our dear friend has not yet said?
I think the point she raises, I think people should go out and vote. Tomorrow you can't complain if you have not voted.
I agree with that.
It's your responsibility. It's your civic duty.
I agree with that.
Well, whatever party you vote for, it's your civic duty to go out and vote. Vote is the most important and potent weapon in your hands. And unfortunately, some people still don't understand. And of course, if you vote for the ANC, it's even an added advantage because you continue the path of development and improvement and a better life for all our people.
Okay, I absolutely agree. I last voted in 1994. I actually flew back from Amsterdam. Have not voted since, and only now did I decide to vote, and that's why I'm doing the series. That people should actually do something to go and vote at all. So if you're, hang on, let me change camera. So if you're watching this, you guys, go and vote. It doesn't matter for whom. It makes no difference. Get off your bottom. Stop watching Mnet and Netflix. And for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, go to a voting station. As you know, I've spoken to the police. I have spoken to JP Smith. There are many plans in place to make sure that you're physically safe in these areas when you go to vote. So please go and vote at all. Okay. So there was my little evangelical moment. So Thandi, final line.
Go out and vote for me. Let's give ANC a chance. Let's start on a fresh note.
Nice. Mr. Ngculu, final line.
I think on the 1st of November 2021, early in the morning, the bird catches the early worm. That early worm is the ANC. Go out and vote.
Amanda!
Thank you so much. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being my guest. If you've made it this far, please like and share on Facebook. And of course, on Twitter, you can retweet. And one more thing, as I always say at the end of my broadcast to all of my stalkers, thank you for pushing up my stats. Bye.
Bye.